what'd you take on fucking Big Sid?
I don't know anything about her.
Me neither.
I can't even think of a movie that she's in.
She's in Euphoria. That's where I think.
Well, I never watched Euphoria.
Me neither.
Oh.
But didn't people love her in that?
Yeah, I mean, she's good in that,
hot?
where she's playing herself, a big-titted fucking, girl who's a slut.
That's perfect.
But now she's got, she's got to chop it up a little.
Right.
What did you say?
The start of this episode is gross.
Gross.
She has big.
She's good when she's a big-titted slut.
Is that how that came out?
That's not what I meant.
That's not what he meant.
She has big mammary glands.
Right.
And she's promiscuous.
In real life?
No, in the show. In the show. That's her role. You know?
And you're saying it's an easy role for her to play.
Yeah.
Okay, I get it.
Who couldn't play that role?
Right.
So we didn't like Madam Web.
Well, I'm kind of interested because I think bad movies are pretty funny.
I'm not.
Where are the up-and-coming, like, Daniel Day-Lewis's? The up-and-coming Katharine Hepburns.
Katharine Hepburn. Oh, my gosh.
The up-and-coming, movie stars.
Where's Phyllis Diller at?
We're not, looking for the next Anna Nicole Smith.
Right.
Well,
that's true.
So back to Dune, because there's two pretty decent, there's a couple big names in that movie. But the new young guy,
the guy that wears all the weird
Timothy
shirts?
Chalamet, which I feel like he did a good job, but he's like this tiny, skinny little guy, and it's like hard to believe that this little shrimpy boy is like fucking gonna take over the world. He's really like he looks like a child. I mean,
like a man child.
He but he is a pretty good actor, though. You know what I mean? Like his performance was a good performance. It's just his physical countenance is a little
Jesse
light.
loves to shit on the popular actors with the most ridiculous insults. Jacob Elordi, string bean giraffe. Timothy Chalamet, little shrimpy boy. You just called.
Napoleon complex.
Well, listen, I call
it's
it how
like
I
good
see
at
it.
acting, but get your height figured out.
And then the other guy, Austin Butler.
Who's that?
Don't know.
He's the guy who played Elvis. He's a handsome cat.
He'll be Elvis forever.
He's a handsome cat. No, but I think he's breaking out. He's doing a lot of things.
Who's
He's done a lot of things.
He's done a lot of things.
Oh, he's in that new motorcycle movie, right?
With Tom Hardy.
Yeah.
I don't know who any of these people are.
Elvis. The other guy wears weird girl shirts to Oscars. And then the string bean giraffe. I don't know who that is either.
String bean shrimpy boy.
I always wanted to read Dune. That's kind of why I also don't want to watch the movie.
After now seeing them, I kind of want to read like the next
Heard
one
those
in the
books
series.
are great.
Yeah.
Isn't it really long?
Yeah.
It's like 6 books.
At least.
Yeah.
At
a lot.
least.
I was listening to a podcast today about authors specifically. It was very interesting.
Authors
don't make a lot of money. Period.
No way. Because
it's
people don't
probably
fucking
tough
read.
to make money.
No, it has nothing to do with that. It's like 10% of, they only get 10% of writing a book. That could take 3 years to write.
That's crazy.
If you're with a publisher, your rip is 10%.
Oof.
Brutal.
Yeah, in order to make big money,
deal.
you got to sell millions and millions and millions of copies.
Brutal.
Who's writing all the John Grisham books? Honestly, he's got a crew, right? Because I think a new book comes out every 3 weeks.
Well, no, it was who's the other one? James Patterson.
James Patterson.
That's actually what the podcast was about how he doesn't write any of the books.
I knew it.
His thing was like quantity. He was always just going to rip them out, you know? And that's how he would get into the top 10 of all time, because he would sell so many of, a bunch of different ones. And he has writers that he brings under his wing, and he doesn't even do the writing anymore.
Yep.
Interesting.
I could see it. I'm at King Cullen, which I can't believe they still have a book section. There's a new book out every 3 weeks.
It's crazy.
I'm like, how is that possible?
What they were talking about is that these authors, it's either they write a newsletter that they sell ads for every day. That's where they make their money. Or like Ryan Holiday, he has a coin that he sells. That's because he's a stoic. Yeah, exactly. And he's the coin is minted in what do they call where you make a coin? A mint? Is that what they call it?
No idea.
And they make more of his coin than they make coins to put into circulation of U.S. currency.
Interesting.
He's the number one customer of the mint is this coin, and that's how he makes all of his money is off the coin, not the book sales.
That's interesting.
That's
Yeah.
I like him. I like his whole thing, the Daily Stoic.
Yeah.
I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Roman Empire stuff.
Moral of the story, don't be an author.
Don't be an author. Doesn't pay. Awesome.
Or fucking sell coins with your books.
Yeah. Well, there was another guy that they were talking about. He's in like the sci-fi. You know, it's like, what's the guy's name? George R.R. whatever the fuck.
George R.R. Martin?
The guy from Game of Thrones.
So he's always like 1 through 5. His books are always like 1 through 5, right?
Right.
This other little guy came up scrappy, did it on his own, published them by himself, would charge like $1, $6 a book. Did it all through like Amazon shit or Scribe, I think it's called. It's like where you can put a book out yourself. And he grew up. He like met George, what's his name?
George Romero.
Yeah.
R. Romero.
What? And he's like, yay, I'm this guy. I'm number 6 on the list.
Right.
You know, like the first time I met him, he didn't know who he fucking was.
That's crazy.
Because all like 1 to 10 is like all him except for this one guy. And he wasn't even selling that many. And so like George R.R. Romero, he wrote to number 6, you know.
Bravo.
Good luck.
To
you
number
know?
6.
And he eventually got to number 1. It was pretty cool.
That's
is
cool.
pretty
But he did it all himself. He was like self-published.
And he did it by pushing a bunch out.
Yeah. Yeah, he would just fucking rip them out. He created a club where it's like you were in his club and you got to read it before everybody else.
I think that's the thing, like nowadays.
create
I
the
think that's
community.
it with any art form. You got to find like creative ways to get to people because like mass market just doesn't exist the same way it used to. There's like mass market is really not, in entertainment, it's not the same as what it was.
Yeah.
There's not very many things that like collectively the whole fucking world agrees upon.
Yeah.
Not a lot of those types of people and artists and things.
Well, plus you also get like those, when you're working with like a distributor or a publisher,
Yeah, they're taking so
they don't
much.
fucking care if you sell 1 book or fucking 5 million books.
Yeah,
like they're just betting on everybody.
Right.
And then they leave it up to you to build the community.
Yep.
Yep.
So we don't need them anymore.
Yeah.
Kind of.
It's like
maybe.
the same thing with beer too. Like all these breweries, they want to be a part of a distributor because we're going to get your beer
Yep.
everywhere. And it's like,
Yeah.
fuck it. Yeah.
There's like a lot of backlash going on in the music world about fucking like the distribution like Spotify and TikTok and how like like the bigger players are starting to get more and more frustrated with how like little money they're making.
Yeah.
Not making any money.
Yeah, I saw that too for Spotify. There's like this viral TikTok or whatever it is, Instagram going around for authors too. Like there's like such fine print where it's like if you allow your thing to go to Spotify, they own it and the derivatives of it and everything at that point. You can make no money off of it. Like they're very sneaky with it.
Insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, like 1 million streams equals out to like $4,000. Like that's crazy.
That's a lot of streams.
It's a lot of streams
Yeah.
for only $4,000.
Yep.
Whereas if you sold 1 million records 20 years ago,
Yeah.
that's the big fucking difference.
1 million streams. How long do you have to stream it to count it as a stream?
I was kind of just thinking of the
I mean,
same
like how
thing.
long did I have to listen?
Yeah.
I think there's a formula. I think there's like, I don't know the exact
Half
amount.
the song.
Yeah, it's probably less than that. It's probably less than that.
30 secs.
Who?
There's got to be a way to hack that somehow.
What, to get more views?
Yeah.
Yeah, lower your rate. If you listen to 5 seconds, it works.
No, but then they go again, like, because all like the playlisting services and all that kind of stuff, that there's automation tech out that's like designed to game the system, but then they deprioritize you. And then another thing that's happening is that like what they're doing is they are like big artists like Beyonce, like they're using all of the fucking tech for artists like that. So like, let's say she got 1 billion streams. They're using all the tech to get her to just juice her numbers and like put her numbers to like 1.6 billion when she got 1 billion actually, but the numbers are reading 1.6 because they're using all the fake accounts and the bots. There's a whole fucking thing going on, and hopefully somebody makes a better mousetrap. I don't know.
She's hitting it big with that country song, right?
Yeah, I hate that song.
I guarantee she gets a lot of awards.
Look in Texas.
Slap the bottom of my foot.
It's a fun one.
You didn't hear it yet?
No.
Really? You like
Never
it,
heard
Meg?
that?
No.
I think it's fun.
Everybody's jamming on it.
It's a good one for the ladies,
She's
man.
wearing white cowboy hats.
It's
and
for the
stuff.
ladies,
It's ready to
man.
go.
Sometimes things are for the ladies. Let them have it.
I think it's to be invited to the Country Music Awards and win more awards.
Whatever. I mean, listen, if you're her,
forbid.
fucking let
If she beats out the country people, then
Oh, she'll beat out a couple, definitely. Open arms.
No, because then there's going to be a whole community of the
No.
country folks that are like, she's not really country.
Open
She doesn't
arms.
deserve to win. It's going to be a big fight. People are just mad.
It'll just make it more popular.
Curmudgeons all over the internet.
I think it'll be open arms, to be quite honest. With somebody like
I
her.
hope so. Good for her. Let it.
With somebody like
she's
her.
from Texas.
She is from Texas.
She's from Texas.
Do you know that my college...
Did you know?
My college,
She's
right?
from Texas.
No.
You mean the same
When
college I went to?
when
That's also my college?
No, when I went to SUNY Poor Choice.
What?
Purchase, sorry.
Oh.
When I went to Purchase, they had a little culture shock weekend, right? They had a little party weekend.
Okay.
The band, it was a little,
He did this little fucking culture
little
shock
party
weekend.
weekend. They would get some bands,
Like
they would get some
homecoming
local bands. No, there was
situation?
not really any sports
Oh.
up there. It was an art school. Destiny's Child was the band when they
That's
first
cool.
came out.
Oh wow.
Wild.
that's so cool.
So weird.
Well, back then that was a big like the college like tour circuit was
Yeah.
like, you know, there was no Instagram, you know what I mean? So like college radio and like
Yep.
college concerts was a way that they would fucking, you know, break artists
Definitely.
nationally. Like that
So-
was like the stepping stone to the next level.
Yeah.
Did you party with Destiny's Child that night?
I was definitely inebriated and overserved, but I saw them somewhat.
But did you like
Say
try to
my
like
name,
do
say
a whip
my
it with Michelle
name.
Williams
No.
or anything?
I didn't really know who they were. We were kind of making fun that that's
Kurt
who
probably
they
said,
got
this is bullshit.
because it's a very artsy school, and then you're gonna get a pop band like
There's
that.
nothing
you know?
artsy about Destiny's Child. Fuck these
Mixmaster
people.
Mike was cool though. We had that the next
Mixmaster
year.
Mike.
Whoa, remember him?
Yeah.
What a name.
Back to the book thing. This thought just popped into my mind. This might not be true, but fact check
Fact
this.
checked it.
The New York Times bestseller list, right? Which is like the big thing. That's like the fucking apex mountain of being a writer.
Sure.
Do you know that Kindle books don't count towards, like, it's only hardcover books? That's it. Not even paperback, just hardcover books.
Yes, those are official releases.
I might have
That's
listened to the same
insane.
thing that you listen to. There's a scam about the New York Times bestseller.
I've listened to it like, I've heard it in multiple places, but it's
Well, I'm
like,
sure it was controlled for a while.
get
so
with
it's
the
on purpose.
fucking times, would you? You know?
Interesting.
But there's other top tens and stuff now. You got the Amazon top 10 and all that shit.
But you know, that's like, you know, the influencer world. It's like, oh, I wrote a book, you know, I was in the
yeah, but a
Amazon
New
top
York
10.
New York Times bestseller. That's like
Yeah.
that's the line.
That's what you want
Yeah.
on your fucking resume,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
That's how you charge more for the, you know.
For the speaking
Yeah,
engagement.
exactly.
New York Times bestselling author Kurt
the reading?
Schnatz.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Here to talk about how to not be a curmudgeon. How I became not a curmudgeon.
I'm not a curmudgeon. I'm a happy guy.
What about the fact that
When
I
he
had?
headed to Florida.
What's that? What happened?
Me?
Yeah.
The 28 days
Later.
Ooh.
later, he said.
Goddamn.
28 days later. Good play on words.
the
I'm
end.
excited for you.
Yeah, it's going to be wild. It's crazy. My father's calling every day with new plans, what we need to get done, what we need to do. It's going to be fun, though. The kids are super excited.
You gonna wear Mickey ears?
Matching shirts?
I mean, will I probably wear Mickey ears? I'm sure at some point. Will they be forced upon my head? Yes. But I do have multiple T-shirts that are ready to go in the burner.
Oh boy.
We were gonna go this year. My sister and her kids, and they're going.
Right?
And then like real quick, I was like, all right, we'll go together. And I was like, yeah, no, we're not doing it. Just fucking don't want to do it.
Prices are going up next
And
year.
my
You better
kids
hurry up.
don't even really want to go. They don't give a fuck.
No, if your kids don't care, then it's not worth it.
They don't. I mean,
If
like,
the kids
if
don't
we
care, it's not
went,
worth
they
it.
would have a good time, but they're not like
Sure.
burning to do it. You know?
No,
what I mean?
you could go to Busch Gardens and have just as good of
They talk about going to Japan.
I don't think that exists anymore.
Oh, it absolutely does. Virginia, it's huge, man.
Anheuser-Busch doesn't even exist
Still
anymore.
in Florida, too.
Busch Gardens.
There's still Busch Gardens, man.
Wow. Didn't know.
Yeah, they're not dying.
No, if they don't care to go, it's not worth it. My kids are loving it. Watch all the movies. They don't go watch Dune at the age of 9.
They now want to go for a weekend in Manhattan after the museum thing.
What?
They said, "Oh, we need to go back to the city. We got to get a hotel this time."
What museum?
We went to the Natural History Museum.
Oh,
We didn't talk about
man,
that.
I
already?
haven't been there forever. No, I don't think so.
We didn't.
What's your favorite part?
Me?
He's not asking me. I haven't been there since I was 14.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean you can't still have a favorite part.
Fucking
I'm asking the room what's their
I
favorite
kind
part.
of felt.
idea.
I kind of.
That's how a
like,
podcast works.
I kind of felt that it was kind of the same as like what it always was.
Yeah, I think they have some new exhibits that they fucking kind of pop in and out.
They had like
You still got the big ass blue whale. You know,
they had like big digital like rooms where they were doing like exhibits, and that shit was kind of cool. My kids loved that. But like they thought the dinosaurs was cool. But the best part about that day was we went in. I don't know if any of you guys have been to Rose's Pizza yet, since it's new.
No, I heard it just opened up, right?
It's insane. It's gigantic.
I also heard Penn
blasting
Station's
music, and they have a station where it's just like a bar cart, and they just have hot girls who are dancing, serving beers. I swear to God. And we went there. We went there to get water on the way back and pizza on the way in, and it was like a double shifts of like just hot chicks like serving beer.
Well, you got
and
pizza.
dancing.
Wait, so you got pizza on the way in. So you saw the girls dancing on the way in. Let me ask you a question. How many places that sold water did you walk past to go there to get the water on the way home?
I mean, I can't confirm or deny the amount, but you know, potentially
a lot of water in Penn Station.
Potentially a few.
Are you with the kids by yourself?
No, it was no. So and then we
you don't go many
walked.
places
We
by
walked.
yourself,
We walked from Penn Station to the museum, and then walked back. And that
dangerous.
that was the best.
Pretty far.
That was the best of the whole trip. The walk. We were just in New York City, just walking
Was that the first time they were in there?
like that. Yeah.
I haven't taken my kids yet either.
Oh, it was great. They
Does it
loved
smell
it.
like weed?
Yeah, weed
smell
everywhere.
like weed.
Everywhere.
Nice.
Interesting.
But yeah, it was a cool day. But the museum as a whole, it's like, we did it. You know.
Right.
Interesting though, like case study, like the old museum. Is it not as interesting because of all of the fucking stimulus?
Yeah.
Well, I
feel
think
like
that's a
yes.
lot of everything going on right now. I think that like, you know, our entertainment is a little magic box. It lives in our fucking pocket, you know, and it's
Certainly is.
kind of knocking everything else out of the box. No pun intended.
I just love getting fucking blown out of my head and going to a fucking museum though. It's such a good
I
time.
haven't been to a museum forever.
If we went like as adults and we smoked some weed and like we had it would be more interesting. Like it was hot.
Art museums.
You know, the kids. Art museums, I think I'd probably enjoy a little bit more than natural history because like the natural history is the same thing as what it was.
Right, the history's still the same.
Still the same thing.
Yeah, but you pick up something new every time.
They didn't change much.
Yeah,
change
and I
much of
guess
the
maybe
history?
I thought going into it that it would have been updated and it would have been like a lot of, and maybe there is, maybe like some fucking, you know, museum nerds were like, listen, buddy, fucking, there's like 10 new fucking
Oh,
wings.
yeah.
And like,
There
I don't
absolutely
fucking know.
is.
But nothing really stood out at me like, oh shit, this is cool.
What's the craziest thing that they have? Like, what's the most?
The big ass blue whale.
What's the big ass blue whale?
You go into that room and it's like multiple stories and there's a fucking giant blue whale
Man,
hanging
I
from
don't
the ceiling.
remember that at all.
Well, the dinosaur things. I mean, because it's not actual bones, but it's like recreation of actual bones.
Oh, it's
But
not
like,
real artifacts.
They have some bones in there.
Some,
On the
yeah.
cases and stuff.
In the cases,
Yeah.
yeah. But I mean, like, I'm assuming if they're telling the truth, they're lying to you about the stature of the actual animals, like some big motherfucking things, you know?
Right.
If that was really real, that's fucking pretty crazy.
Are you saying you don't think dinosaurs are real?
Listen, to me, I'm the kind of guy to where anything could be not real and maybe everything is real. I don't believe anything, and I don't really like. I don't feel strongly one way or the other. Like if they came out and said, "This just in, dinosaurs fake," I'd be like, "All right."
Somebody was chiseling the bones.
Yeah,
all
same
these years.
thing up there. Like, you know what? We've never
brush?
actually did go to the moon. It's a fucking studio in
We're
Burbank,
gonna call this
California.
a Tyrannosaurus.
I'd be like, yep, okay. You know, I wouldn't be surprised by anything at this
Worst
point.
names in the world. I can't stand dinosaur names.
Speaking of like museums, what about like SeaWorld? I just recently
SeaWorld's been poo-pooed big time. Man.
yeah, big time. Do you know that fucking movie that
Blackfin.
that movie that
That,
particular killer whale has now killed 5 people.
Really? Good
Like-
for him.
It's
They're
revolting.
they're so smart.
Yeah.
Like they know like they're in this like tank in this cage and they, you know, learn the ways of the fucking trainers and then they like knock them in
Murder
and
them.
fucking hold them down.
It's great.
That might be the worst way to die.
Telecom.
Oh, absolutely.
Because-
Either that or fire.
They're not like they're like been proven that they don't like chew you to death. They just keep taking you down further and
Yeah,
further.
they're not eating
Insane.
anybody.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's nuts.
That movie is wild. That documentary,
Yeah, that was really good.
crazy.
I don't think I saw it.
You didn't see Blackfin?
You should
Blackfin's
watch
really
it. It's good.
No.
Do they touch on the dolphins in that one too?
Dolphins are fucking.
Or that's
really.
the cove? No,
Bad
I'm thinking of the
motherfuckers.
cove. I'm thinking of the cove where they trap them in that cove and murder them.
They're so smart.
Yeah,
Fucking.
it's
Yeah,
wild.
SeaWorld's bad.
Yeah, I'm trying to think if I went to SeaWorld in San Diego when I was there, but I think it was
I've never
closed already.
I went there when I was a kid in Orlando.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've gone way back when.
I don't remember. I don't. Think
I'll
so
never
either.
go there again though.
I've gone to the Riverhead Aquarium, and I think there's some weirdness going on in there.
I think there's weirdness in every zoo.
Yeah, but even that's like a thing. Like, what? Now zoos are bad. You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck are you supposed to do? Like, everything's bad?
I mean, listen, there's nothing. I personally think they get more food than anything, but yes, they live a different life than if they were wild, obviously.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Well,
But I
Rogan.
went to-
Rogan was talking about like going to other. Where did he go? Maybe he went to Africa or something
Yeah, I'm
like
not
that.
doing that though.
And like, or China. Maybe he was in China.
Definitely
And
not doing that.
Yeah, most people are not going to make it to Africa and China.
Yeah.
But they have like these excursions where you go on and you're like, there's a fucking giant lion right there, and you could pet the lion. You know how fucking drugged up that motherfucker is to be able to do that?
I guess so.
And he said it was like the saddest thing he's ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
He's like, I was like, thought it would be cool. Like, yeah, we're in with the fucking lions. We're going to check him out. And he's like, I get in there and this lion is so fucking doped up, that like, it's fucked up.
You think the Bronx Zoo is bad? You think
I
it's
don't
like
know.
a bad?
I don't really think
thing?
about it that much.
No, but this is kind of part and parcel of all the shit that we talk about. Like, it's like the world is changing so drastically because once upon a time, right, the zoo, it was entertainment.
Well,
like, what the fuck
like the
did people
circus.
do?
Just
You know
like
what I
the
mean? Like,
circus,
we're
yes.
gonna go take a trip to the zoo.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
we're gonna see fucking exotic animals.
Right,
Now,
'cause we're humans.
once again, we're fucking plugged into this fucking thing. We can know everything, if ever, in the existence of the universe. Just fucking Google it. It's got a name and a definition and a reason and a this and a that. And then you got, groups of people who fuck popcorn buckets and they think that's cool. And you know what I mean? Like, so I don't even know how you judge stuff like that anymore because it's not upon a time that was something like there's probably multiple generations that have like special core memories of like when my dad took me to the zoo
Yeah.
and I
I've had
saw
some great
a
experiences at the
lion
zoo.
and you know what I mean and like now you peel the onion and you say well the lion was on medication so he couldn't fucking kill little Johnny. Fucking I don't know, is it bad, is it not? I don't know. I think it's hard to say.
Well, I see it like horse racing. Like people put down horse racing right away, right? And I know it's like an
It's the
old
same
form
thing.
of sport. But the way you could positively look at it, besides entertainment, is one, horses love to run. That's their job. No, I'm not. That's not a joke. That's not a joke. They
All right,
work. They
keep
work
going.
all
Keep
day.
going. That was good.
They
That was
love
funny.
to run.
That was fun.
Two, they get fed extremely well compared to.
This is incredible.
Compared to, you don't think they get
Having to
treated?
go and like find their food.
Yeah, you don't think
Yeah.
they get treated like
I just think this is
fucking
great.
aces?
No, yeah, you're right. What's three?
So why is
What's
that
three?
hilarious?
What's three? What's
Keep
three?
going.
Why is it? I don't know why those
It's like
two.
the-
are
No, you're
hilarious.
right.
Keep going. Keep going.
You're right.
No, I'm not going anymore. I just don't understand why those two are hilarious. But I feel the same way about the zoo. Like, if you have a good zoo, like we went to a free one in New Jersey, you just donate. Like, every time you go there, which, I'm sure all families are just throwing $20 in a bucket, whatever. It was awesome. It was
Yeah.
clean. They had one or two of, like, nice, odd, exotic animals. They got to be
Like-
taken care of so well.
I'm putting that out there as I'm making the assumption that like these are humane people doing the right thing. That,
yes.
that
There's definitely bad zoos.
Well, but here's the thing. It's like the other part of it too is just how quickly word travels, right? I just said Joe Rogan went. The fucking thing was. I heard his story of going.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's grandfather might have went to the free zoo. 30 fucking years ago, 50 years ago.
Right.
Didn't feel good about it. Maybe told one or two people, and that's where it ended.
True.
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 Might have felt a certain way at the zoo.
Yeah,
you know?
definitely.
And I want to play devil's advocate about the horse racing thing.
Right, you can.
They like to run. Do they like to run with little fucking Mexicans on their back, you think?
Oh, that is so racist.
Yeah, until their legs break in half. Where
Meg's alive.
fucking thousands of drunk people bet on them.
I'm sure on a farm, when they're not doing anything and they're getting fat, they're worthless. Or if they're a cowboy's fucking horse, you don't think any ankles broke? They definitely broke.
Yeah, but like this is the never-ending question of like humanity. Like,
could spin anything.
what are we doing here? Like, we started out rubbing fucking rocks together in caves. Now we're riding horses and making money on
You know
it.
what the horses
and
taking over
fucking
the
we're going to
streets?
China looking at fucking with lions.
Make 'em
Like,
run.
What are we supposed to do?
Right, but you also can't be negative on every single thing that happens.
I think that's kind of like one of the people. That's like humans. Like that's another thing we do. Like we make shit up. Like we make new things. We make tools.
Right,
And then we complain about everything.
right. We
I
love
think-
glue,
No,
but
but we
don't
also
like the horse.
justify everything for our own.
Well, yeah, because at the end of the
Enjoyment.
day, if you think about it, like we're not animals of like everything that we do is justified for our own pleasure, consumption, benefit, like everything. Like, but what else would we do? How else would you do it?
I guess you just let everything roam free. Be one with the
We would
animals.
be really complaining about that.
Yeah, we would certainly be complaining
would be
about
really
that.
complaining
with the
about
geese
that.
shit you got out on your front fucking. I
The
want to
geese
shoot
shit
a
will
couple of
depress the
those.
shit out of you.
Yeah.
Like a gray day and the lawn with geese shit.
Disgusting.
That's seasonal depression. I don't get seasonal depression, but I get that.
Somebody should do something about the geese.
No,
Listen,
but it's
once the fucking dolphins start walking and breathing, we're all in trouble anyway.
Well,
so
that
don't
ain't
worry
happening.
about it. You don't think so?
They're gonna come out of the water and start walking.
Actually,
Are they growing
You know?
gills?
they might. It's
mean,
evolution,
lungs.
bro. It's evolution. Next thing you know, you're at the racetrack. Fucking dolphins riding a horse.
Oh, that'd be
you know?
awesome. That'd be so cool.
it's funny is like, are we really in for like a major like changing event, or are we just so hyped up on our own fucking bullshit and like nothing's gonna happen?
Well, the thing is like, who cares?
Well, I mean, you can't do anything either way. You
Can't
just
do
got to
anything
kind of
about
go
it.
with it, surf the wave.
I'm just here to fuck the popcorn bucket, you know?
That's a episode title.
Things are gonna happen. It's gonna get crazy.
Things are happening.
Oh yeah.
You know, we were talking about that the Brian Johnson, the guy, the tech billionaire guy who's, you know, spending $2 million a year on extending his life.
Yeah.
And somehow I listened to that, but I highly recommend listening to that. It's very interesting. And that guy's crazy. Like, so like I was aware of him and have seen his videos and shit before listening to that podcast. So going into the podcast, I was super skeptical. Just like the podcast host was kind of super skeptical.
Right.
But a lot more than what you think. But anyway, I was just thinking to myself about how like 100 years ago, whenever it was, like when life expectancy was like 45 years, right? If you would have told those people then that in 100 years, people are going to live into their 80s, they would be like, that's crazy. Like, how the fuck you figure that? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's no science to prove it.
Yeah, but the world was also so much
No,
smaller
but,
to them.
but listen to what I'm saying, right? So 100 years ago, they would be like, no fucking way.
Sure.
Can't happen. Who's to say that 100 years from now, we can't do it again? You know what I mean? Like, because you got to assume that, like, there are things, like, 100 years ago, there are things that we didn't know that we know now. So you probably also have to assume that 100 years from now, there's going to be things that we know then that we don't know now.
Of course. I mean,
But
that's
why
logic.
does it seem like nowadays, like everybody's so like the definitions are tight and fixed and like
What
this
definitions?
can't happen and you know what I mean? Like why is this guy crazy because he's saying that he thinks he can beat death?
Oh, because he sounds crazy.
Yeah, but the guy 100 years ago who was working on whatever fucking plant turned into penicillin or whatever it was. You know, I mean, I'm skipping a lot of steps in the history books, but I'm saying like somebody told that guy he was fucking crazy too.
Yeah,
But yet it worked
I
out.
think that's just the way of how it goes. That's
Yeah.
just the rite of passage. You have to be told you're crazy.
Yeah, but also who's calling him crazy?
Right.
Everyone.
You think so?
I think.
I don't think so. I think
I think there's probably plenty of people that follow him and think he's a
I think
genius.
the people that are calling him crazy are people that
don't want him to be right.
or older. resistant to change, things like that. I bet you, I don't know many fucking 20-year-olds that know what he's doing. Maybe there are out there. I bet you pull 120-year-olds and you said, yeah, right on, go for it, guy. But that's not the voice you hear out there all the time. What you hear is like,
I guess
fucking, what's the guy's name? I can't even name. Anderson Cooper. This guy's crazy, you know? That's what fucking rules the world.
Just imagine being on Earth before like TV and radio and like you live in your own little community and you don't even know what the stats are on people, like how many humans exist.
That's a whole other thing.
That's fucking bizarre.
Insane.
And the radio comes out and then you got,
more
people talking to you and more of the worlds happens and scares everybody. But you really just live in a small bubble of a community that you have no idea what is
the
California.
funny thing is we all do live in a small bubble of a community, and
But
then
we don't.
and then we hack into like this like mega bubble that gives us little glimpses into everybody else's bubble too.
Yeah.
But we're really only playing our life out in a relatively. Most people.
Sure. A lot more people though.
Yeah.
A lot more people in your bubble as well.
Talk about that one podcast you said to listen to, because I listened to it, but I listened to so many that I don't remember particularly what it was about.
What podcast did I say?
It was about the kids, the woman, Rogan had the woman on, about the kids, about therapy.
Oh yeah. I didn't write any notes down though, so I would sound stupid. But that was a great podcast on how
fucking kids up.
Yeah, just
With social
using
media?
therapy
No,
as their
therapy.
first form of help, which is ridiculous. And then she said something like 42% of kids 12 and under have been in therapy already. 42%.
It's a lot.
That's absurd.
Any sort of like trouble, it's like, this is the solution.
This is the solution.
And now you're putting it in an impressionable mind that there's something wrong with them.
Right.
You know?
And you find out that most therapists don't study what you're trying to help with your kid. And also the teachers that are telling you that your kid has ADHD, they're not prepared for that either. They didn't take classes on that. Now I'm sure they're taking more and more as they learn. But everybody just wants to fix everybody. It's so... One of the best things she said is when your kid falls and cuts their foot and they cry and they cry and they cry and you just keep on telling them, it's going to be okay. You're going to do good. Let's get a Band-Aid. What else do you need? And you keep on asking them questions. How's your foot now? The next day you ask them, how's your foot now? Stop living in what is troubling you. Learn how to get over it and get stronger by it, because most people who go through trauma and get over it, they become a stronger person. And it was really all about becoming a stronger person to be able to live in this world by yourself.
Well, I think
or with
it's
somebody
50-50.
else.
I think what's good about therapy, and I think that like how therapy has gotten more popular, I think because most people are not very good at expressing themselves and saying how they feel. So I
Sure.
think like therapy is a vehicle for helping people express themselves and get that out, even if it's like, and I think like the best therapists are the therapists that they're not telling you what to do or explaining things to you. They're just kind of like letting you reflect.
Yeah, but they're
You know what
also
they're like a mirror. Hang on. So, but the other piece is that like, I think that now in this world of like uber intelligence and like we have all the names for things, I think what's really dangerous is that like everybody is give this thing a name, define it, and like, oh, I have anxiety. Yeah, we all have
that's
anxiety.
the big thing is
It's like
anxiety.
we're coming away from like, well, how do you learn how to be resilient? Like what you're saying, like because identify it, figure out how to express yourself through the situation, but then the next piece is how do I learn how to fucking deal with this in some sort of a go forward manner?
Right. But not all therapists can give you that next step.
But most
That's what the
therapists
problem
can't
is.
give you that next step. You got to give yourself that
Right.
next
But
step.
you also can't keep on living. Like she kept on talking about you're 16-year-old and you go through a breakup.
Well, that's what this was.
You're going to be in pain.
Yeah.
You don't need a therapist to talk about how this guy either cheated on you or you lost your 16-year-old love. Everybody goes through that. Well, hopefully everybody goes through that.
It's interesting to hear fucking Mega Rooney's take on this.
But
that was the whole thing. It wasn't about when you get to a point and you're an adult and you can make a decision and
you're making your own decision to go there.
God is formed properly.
Yep.
You know, you can make that decision. But it's like, I don't want to fuck this kid up. I'm not a good parent. Whatever, subjectively, that's what it is.
100%.
I don't know how to be this person's parent. Something's wrong with this kid.
Yep.
Give me fucking somebody to tell this kid how to be better.
Yeah.
And that's what they're seeing more and more and more of.
It's just like when
another version of pills.
If you knew a cop, right? I used to know this because of my brother-in-law. He used to always tell me, parents on the street of the city, when their kids are not behaving, I'm going to get that cop to get you in shape, to get you to tell you. And he's like, I don't want him to think that I'm the bad guy that's going to tell him how to behave. Don't get me involved because you can't control your kid and the kid doesn't know wrong or right. It's not my job to go up and yell at the kid to behave.
We're really going through something as a species, man.
Yeah, it's soft. It's just being soft.
Sometimes I tell my dog too. I'm like, you want to go home or you want to go to jail?
You want to get the shot or you want to come home? It's a lot of kids making up decisions at 13 years old. And it stems from her first book that I won't get into, but that's another decision that kids are making that should not be allowed to make.
What decision I make?
The whole transgender situation.
Yeah.
You can't let a 13-year-old do that if they can't go buy a pack of cigarettes
No.
and a 6-pack of beer.
We
It's an
shouldn't
easy situation.
get into that, but I completely
No, we're not going to get into
completely
it.
agree.
But that was her first book.
Yeah.
That was her first thing that got out there and got canceled all over the place. And now this is another one saying I tell Jen all the time, we're here with our kids. Like, I want to love them to death. I want to love them as much as I can. But our job is to send them out into the world. It's not to keep them home under our roof and not know how to deal with jamming their finger in a friggin' drawer.
I didn't listen to the episode, but I don't think that is, I wouldn't put that as synonymous with therapy. But I agree. I don't think every 13-year-old that's having a hard time should be going to therapy for their first fucking breakup, even 16. But I feel like that's still, like, there are parents that aren't equipped to handle these things, I feel like. And that's a good kind of segue into it.
On face value, like, as help for a parent who doesn't, who struggles. I think there's, like, that concept, there's nothing wrong with that concept. It's just delicate. It's a delicate thing.
Yeah. And it's a generational thing. Like, it was never talked about as much as it is now.
No, but when
now I think it's talked about too much.
When you got a statistic that 1 in 2 kids in this country have seen a therapist, that is borderline extreme.
Yeah, I think so.
That's borderline
by
extreme.
far worse than any other country.
But I think that, like, you ever have somebody say, like, I've noticed a lot that people say this. Like, people say, I have anxiety. Like the way somebody would say, I have diabetes.
I was going to say that before that. I don't remember hearing that word when I was.
Have you ever heard anybody say it like that?
All the time.
I have anxiety.
All the time.
And like that,
I don't think I've ever used that word.
To me, like,
diarrhea, definitely.
I'm not. Listen, I've had tremendous fucking issues with anxiety. I'm not saying that, like, but I think that, like, being anxious is a condition of being human.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I think that, like,
and there are people that have it to worse degrees, and if they could treat it, great.
Yeah, but I'm not. That's not what that. My issue is more on, well, my observation. Not my issue, because it's not my fucking problem. But the observation is the culture of, like, name the problem, learn the problem, classify the problem. Like, I don't think that that's helping us very much. Like, I think, like, we're going too extreme into, like, this almost like academic kind of, like, intellectual fucking.
And then drug the problem.
And yeah, because it's like the problem, what the real problem is that we're fucking here and we're going to die and we don't know why. And, like, everybody as an individual has to go through life and kind of figure out what is the version of this thing that feels the best for you. And then after you figure that out, which is next to impossible, then you have to fucking say, okay, now I'm a member of a group. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a brother, I'm a sister, I'm a fucking boyfriend or a girlfriend. Now you have to learn how to play well with others and hopefully kind of help. I mean, these are incredibly complex things.
Yeah.
Like, there's not going to be a pill. There's not going to be, unless we are ultimately going to wind up on hard drives. I mean, if that's what's going to happen, and we're going to wind up on hard drives,
Christ.
then I guess that you can make it zeros and ones, if that is where it ultimately gets to.
Listen, when things get bad,
just get the popcorn
you
bucket.
just go down to your local multiplex. You spend $25, you get the popcorn
Dune's
bucket.
only going to be in the theaters for another like 4 weeks.
Sit in the last row. Everybody knows what goes on in the last row of the movie theater, you know? Everybody's got a Dune bucket in the last row in one way or another, you know?
It's crazy though. It's like everybody's what we're talking about right now is just a little tiny piece of what everybody's talking about right now, because like the world is changing incredibly fast, faster than it's ever changed before, and it's hard to comprehend. It's hard to like get because I think we're like the previous generations were so like black and white about like this is good, this is bad, this is moral, this is immoral. And like all of that stuff is being challenged.
Yeah.
And every
Male
single
and females are being challenged.
Everything's being challenged.
Everything is being challenged.
Which I think, to an extent, is not necessarily a bad thing, because I'm an optimist, and I think I'm going to go to the grave being that way. Is that I believe that ultimately smart people will find better ways to skin the cat, the proverbial cat, of life. Will find better versions. But the thing that's tricky is that you're going to see a lot of things that you think are like this, that are like solid, be completely fucking torn to shreds. And like not everybody is strong enough emotionally to be able to ride that wave.
Well, I think that's the first thing you have to realize.
Yeah, like there's no solid
Everything
ground beneath your feet. Everything's up for grabs right now.
Everything that you've been thought was fucking, this is it.
Right.
There is no.
It ain't that.
It's great.
But I think I you guys are probably gonna make fun of me, but I think I'm well suited for this. I think I've never really had any real fucking, like I've never really had any manifesto. I've never really had any never really believed in anything so like this,
Yeah, I'm probably gonna go insane.
I know, but I don't think so, because I don't know. I don't think that there's too many people in my life that I can think of that are like that way, that don't have the ability to just lean in.
Right.
I think,
but they're out there.
I think I.
Yeah, they're definitely out there.
They're out there.
I think
a lot of them are old.
But I think there's young versions too.
Well, it's just a different version.
Yeah, there's young versions too. Like there's like people that just think like the world should be this. There's no such thing as should be.
Meg, you doing any weed over there?
No, I might need it right now.
Megan's stressed out right now. She's not. We went from that website call into this conversation. Megan is finito.
I'm good. I'm good.
You didn't do any drugs after that one day you did those drugs?
No, I didn't. I was gonna with Grace, and then we didn't.
Grace partakes in the gardening?
Grace does.
Like
Don't tell her school.
Often?
No. Occasional. She dabbles.
Why not?
That's human, man. Getting high. That's universal, baby. That's it. Gotta get high.
Yeah, just numb yourself,
No, elevate. See things that aren't there.
Yeah, whatever.
See things that aren't there.
I don't want to be numb.
Things are already not what they already were, so now just make them disappear. And make them reappear as
Where's
something
it all
else.
going, Kurt?
What's up?
It was like a big bunny.
Everything's floating.
It's like a big bunny.
It's everything. You want it to have bunny ears?
Anybody check in to listen to the Cat Williams and Joe Rogan conversation?
No, not yet.
Pretty
Yes,
strange.
I did. I actually watched it. Super slow on his delivery.
Yeah.
Something
Killed me.
Couldn't finish it.
Killed me.
I thought I like the conspiracy theory angle, but something I'm not starting to notice now, which I didn't really think about, and then we had a comedian on, like when comedians go on podcasts, like they're not funny, like they're not trying.
Depends on what they're talking about.
But they're not trying to be funny
because they don't want to be working.
But that's what I like. I think I have like this view of like funny people.
They're just
and
gonna roll through their jokes.
Like they're just
what?
always funny.
No.
But I think
Yeah,
that
but Joe Rogan is a comedian.
I know.
And his whole thing is
But
built
Rogan's-
around not being funny.
He's not that funny. He's never been funny.
It's true.
I mean, it's
I don't know why. Whatever he did, he obviously did it
subjective.
right. He obviously did it right. But
Because he makes people feel comfortable and he goes into interesting topics. That's it.
I don't think previous
For
to the podcast
10 years
Yeah.
he's been doing.
I mean, that's what it probably takes him that long to get that good.
I
thought at the beginning, I wasn't sure which side Cat Williams was on. I wasn't sure if he was going to partake in the
Cat
situation.
Williams is from another planet.
He is kooky.
He's from another planet.
He had Dan Soder on like right afterwards too, and does a fucking dynamite Cat Williams
Is she okay?
impression.
Yeah, I'm fine.
Impersonation.
I just heard the noise. I'm sorry.
No, I just put my water down.
Impersonation.
Impression.
I
think
we talked about this already.
Impressionist?
Still didn't learn.
Cat Williams gets a lot of shit. Like
No,
a lot of people don't like him.
Well, right now he's out there whistleblowing Hollywood. Man.
Yeah.
Like telling stories.
Been doing it for a while.
He's telling stories about everybody, saying crazy shit.
Love it.
Really crazy
Love
shit.
that stuff.
Which I think is
I have
amazing.
no idea who that is.
He's a comedian.
He's a commodity.
He's a commercial comedian.
I think from the comedian standpoint, there's a few that make the rounds that they're funny the whole time, but few and far between.
Yeah, I think it's tough for. He's also been around for a really, really long time that he wants to sound as smart as he is.
I just never connected like the awkward artist to comedians, but they're a lot more that than you would think.
Yeah.
Dude, they are dark as shit.
I never really had that connection in my mind.
You got to think like 70% of their time is like spent by themselves.
Yeah. The two that I think are always on are Theo Vaughn and Mark Norman. Never shut off.
Why do I not know Mark Norman?
You'd know him if you saw him.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's a regular on Robo.
Yeah. They're never
Yeah, I've never you think of artists, like musicians and like painters and like actors and like these are fucking freako people who are like out of their mind. But I never really connected that with comedians.
I did expect a little bit more energy from him.
From Cat
I
Williams?
really did. Yeah, I expected a little bit more energy.
No, he was like
seemed like sedated.
Oh my God! Well, I mean, he was smoking a joint the whole first 35 minutes.
he seemed like the whole time he was leaning in like this.
He was always thinking,
like leaning
about
into
his-
another world.
The one that killed me was the Newport question when he had to like really try and answer it seriously. And I was like, all right, dude, I thought you had a joke there.
Yeah.
I thought there was a solid joke there.
But what's funny is I think Rogan loves those episodes
Sure.
more than any other fucking episode because like it was very, and I think it's interesting about podcasting in general, and I think that kind of trips me up too, is like there are people that come on podcasts and they just want to promote themselves.
Sure.
And then there are like the opportunities like that to where it's like two people who are jamming on a subject.
Oh yeah.
Who are just in that zone. And like I always find that much more interesting than like the promotion stuff.
I think the promotion thing has really died out because it was heavy at one point. Like you would listen to the same person on 5 of the podcasts that you listen to.
Yeah,
every
around
week.
the same time.
And I don't see that much anymore.
Doing the
late
rounds.
shows.
I don't really see it too much anymore. One that I listened to this week, which I thought was really interesting, was Tim Dillon had Gary Vee on. It was fucking fascinating. Those two talking to each other was
it good?
Yeah, it was really good. I don't know if it was it was definitely Tim Dillon's thing, but he must have let Gary Vee put it out as one of his. And it was very interesting.
I think Gary Vee's the man. As much as like I want to not, like I all the time want to be like, I hate this guy. He's so fucking annoying.
Yeah, Larry Z would have been huge by now.
Larry Z would have been fucking
Larry
amazing.
Z would have been huge.
Man.
Saw that guy driving a car the other day. I was shocked.
Megan never saw Larry Z, right?
No.
She wasn't around for that.
I saw the end.
The end.
That showed me some of this
The
stuff.
fall of Larry Z. It was a quick rise and a quick fall.
I was telling Megan the other day, I was cleaning up some of the drives and
I
the
forgot
computers.
about those videos.
And I saw Megan. I was like behind the scenes footage from that Kiss Cosmetics video.
Oh, okay.
And Megan's like steaming in a shirt. And I'm like, what the fuck is this? Who are these people? What the fuck is going on
You know
here?
what I thought about the other day? Remember when we did the fucking the Dr. Tony's COVID vaccine?
Oh, yeah.
Oh
yeah,
my
yeah.
gosh.
God, yeah.
Wow. It's pretty funny that you guys are saying that because I was on YouTube looking at the Viola Media and I went over like all the old music videos that we made. I was kind of happy with a lot of them.
Listen, man. What's
bad.
cool about that shit is
They
that,
weren't
like,
bad.
that shit is fun. And like if you have the time, I mean, that's what Hollywood is, right? So if you have the time to work on stuff like that, you'll get good at it, and eventually that's what becomes the motion picture industry. You know
I
what
watched
mean?
the
Like,
Christmas one.
well, you know,
and Cats or whatever. What was her name? Cat, right? Planet Kate, whatever. Kate.
Cat.
Planet Kate? Planet
Whatever. I thought the videos were good.
Tony.
I didn't see those. I don't know where those are buried.
I bet you go back to some of that stuff and it's better than you think it was.
I like the music stuff. I even watched what's his face do the Christmas thing. That was fucking awkward as shit.
Aaron?
Yes.
That's his favorite thing in the world.
I know it is. He
Guy's
looks like a
constantly
psycho in it.
sharing that fucking video.
Love it.
We got
That's funny.
Kurt saw the first cut.
I did. I asked him if he saw it. I thought he would have saw it. I thought it was good. It's very interesting. It's gonna be good. I can't wait for the music.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys going to talk about it since you were the two that saw it, or?
Well, we should probably wait until
I
you
can
see
send,
it,
I can
no?
send it.
I
Yeah,
love
I don't
when
think
John
I don't
does
think
this.
it's right to send it yet. You got to get the music on it first.
No, you can't.
Yeah.
No, you can't.
No,
send
no,
it.
send it to who? I mean, I'm just saying, like, what? So is it good? You happy?
Yeah, I feel
I mean, he's the boss over there.
I feel pretty good. I feel pretty good about it. I feel like it's way better. It's way better earlier. I anticipated
A lot more issues.
a lot more issues at this stage of the game. So I think based on what I saw, it's going to be a lot quicker to the finish line than what I originally
Right.
thought. But I know like Aaron's already having like fucking, he's going through his process of being a psychopath.
What? Like he's not
It's
enjoying it?
It's just what people do. It's like you make something and then all of a sudden you start like fucking
Yeah, nobody ever wants to
thinking
release
about
anything.
because it's part of the process.
Just
That's
release
why
it.
you need teams.
Finish it and release it.
do another one.
Do another one. Start filming the other one tomorrow.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm happy with it. I'm happy with it.
What are you talking about? These?
Let's do a card.
You want to do one of these? Is that what you're saying? I saw the eyes go. I don't know what. red
Or a
means.
jelly bean. Which
No,
one?
fuck the jelly beans.
I haven't done a
Nah,
lot of
that's
jelly
lame.
beans lately.
That's lame.
John Ziegler didn't want to hit the jelly beans?
Megan.
That would have been funny.
Megan probably hasn't had to do this. John, you put out a lot of resumes?
No.
No? Meg, what's the biggest lie you had to put on a resume?
Oh, I know that. I know one.
Yeah?
I constantly lie that I graduated college.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
That's a big lie.
They're not checking that.
That's a big lie.
They're never checking that.
They were.
No.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
Didn't care.
Didn't care.
That's like that show Suits. Like the kid that said he went to Harvard, but he didn't go to Harvard. I said
Yeah,
he was a
I
lawyer.
didn't say he went to Harvard.
Where did you graduate from, quote unquote?
Stony Brook.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
All right. You kept it local.
Well, I did go there.
Which is believable.
I wouldn't like say that I went to a school that I didn't go to.
Why not? They're not checking. I mean, you went that far and them not
Harvard.
checking.
GPA is an easy one too. Like people that put their GPA on their resume, that's fucking no one's telling the truth about that.
Not checking?
Except for Megan. Megan's not lying on a resume.
I know she's not.
She's
I
only
know
had to
she's
put
not.
one
Not.
out there. This one.
Oh yeah, I wish. Put out 1 million.
Jesse,
Yeah.
what was your most embarrassing moment that transpired in public?
Was it the dick one?
Let's relive it.
Was it the dicks in the hot tub?
No, that wasn't embarrassing for me. That was embarrassing for them. Well, I mean, I guess it was embarrassing for me.
Well, the fact that you were erect afterwards.
Oh, my Lord.
This guy's like,
So gay.
this guy went to the hot dog stand right afterwards.
Come on, what's the most embarrassing thing you ever did?
In public? The most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in public? I don't know.
You bet pants down. Yeah, that was my first go-to.
Yeah, I mean, like back in like elementary school and like middle school, you probably got pantsed a couple times. You know
With
what
the
I mean?
underwear down?
Yeah, I think maybe dicks in the wind.
That's so embarrassing.
Anybody ever see your penis that you didn't want him to see it? What happened there?
I think so.
Nah,
I think that this is like not as funny though. Like it was there's like 2 or 3 times in my life that I was like bullied like as a young kid.
Yeah, that's not funny.
Like that's to me I was embarrassed.
Yeah,
I
get that.
I'm not somebody who gets embarrassed very easily.
Right. I get that. I understand that.
Where are you going with that pointer?
Yeah, so I don't think I have anything like, maybe I shit my pants or something. I mean, I've definitely done that.
That people saw it and knew about
Yeah,
it.
did anybody see that you
Yeah,
shit
because
your pants?
embarrassing means, public humiliation.
Well, yeah, so fucking Super Bowl party.
There we go. Here we
Super
go.
Bowl party
Now
in
we're
high
getting
school.
somewhere.
This is funny.
You found one.
At George's at George's house. Like I think so Super Bowl is a Sunday. I think we were drinking hard the night before, and like we were in George's living room, and we had a bunch of girls and stuff, and I had to disappear because I had to go, do number 2 upstairs.
Oof, during a party?
And yeah,
Oh my gosh.
and I don't, maybe I told George or fucking he knew or something, and so I go to get up
it
and
was me.
slip out of the room.
I remember
and
this.
he's like, where you going? And I fucking
shit.
and I was like, I had to go, and it was a moment, and I was very embarrassed then. So there you go.
Just because you got called out going to the bathroom.
Yeah.
You could always yell, "I'm taking a piss."
Like I said, I don't get embarrassed very often.
Now you lean into that. Like, yeah.
Just say,
Shit.
You just say, "I'm shitting."
Number 2.
Where's your upstairs bathroom? Where's your...
I was this is my mom's in the hospital, so I'm in the hospital, and they always do the things like code 4, code 5.
Right.
And I've had some bad moments in the past few days of like shitting in the hospital.
IBS.
Ooh,
high alert.
you shitting in the hospital.
Yeah. Because I'm nervous all the time in there. So, like, my joke is everybody that is around me when they're like, code 4, we got a code 4 in the bathroom. I'm like, yeah, that's where I just was, They must be running to the bathroom on fucking 7th floor. I know my way around the Stony Brook Hospital because I know all, like, the corners and the good bathrooms and stuff.
Oh my god.
It's a very funny thing that like being nervous like fucking equates to shit in your pants.
I
like it's
I
really
hate nerves.
like when you put those two things together, it's a very funny like function of the human
Yeah.
But
body.
it makes sense, kind of, no?
Yeah, but
yeah.
how?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I was there for 16 hours on Friday, and I probably shit at least 12 times.
Like why don't
Oh
you
my
like
gosh.
why don't you get a headache or like your palms itch? You know what I mean? Like why do you
Right.
fucking shit?
I mean, you shit and you sweat.
Because your
probably,
body's like in red panic. Like, you
Yeah.
gotta
But
get
why does
everything
it
out.
go to your butt? Why does it do that?
There's got to be a reason. There's
well,
got to
when
be.
all you've had is like 7 to 12
Coffees.
quad espressos in a day, there's nothing in there but just like the fucking walls of your stomach coming out,
Here's a question. You think like fucking is that like it's got to be because of the expression "shit your pants"? Like it wouldn't exist otherwise. But like,
Right.
do you think like most people like that's how most people process stress?
I think it's either that or sweating, right? Or-
Yeah, sweating.
Like sweating.
I don't think I've ever had
Sometimes a combination.
Shaking?
Perhaps.
Yeah, shaking, sweating. I don't think I ever had to run to the bathroom.
Puking?
When I was nervous. Puking, definitely.
See, I don't get any of that stuff. Straight to the shit.
You know how to push it out the right way.
I think
That's good.
That's more common, though.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's universal. Yeah, because like shit your pants. This guy's shitting his pants. Like he was so afraid he was shitting his pants. Like that's a thing that people say.
I think shitting
And I
or
guess
throwing up
is the
so
reason.
Things have to come out. I think shitting or throwing up. So I think things have to come out of your
Things
body.
have to
when
come
you-
out.
I think it's 4 to 1 shit to puke, though. You know,
Okay. All right. You can be right.
80% shit, 20% puke.
This is Megan's least favorite episode in a long time.
Yeah, I'm struggling.
It's always funny though to like break the ice with a shit in your pants. You know,
Ah,
What do you got in your notes, Meg? I got to leave in like 2 minutes.
oh my god.
No,
Sorry.
wait. I had one thing that I
have to.
heard on a podcast, and I feel like I'm going to know Jesse's answer, and it's going to be annoying.
Oh man.
But I saw this thing, because you're going to see what I'm going to say. It was flip a coin. You either can win $1 billion,
Mhm.
Oh,
but it's a 50% chance, or you can guaranteed $1 million. So you have to flip a coin for $1 billion or a guaranteed $1 million.
What do you think my answer is?
You're going to say, I don't fucking care. I guess I'll flip a coin.
No, I think he's gonna say guaranteed $1 million.
Really?
Yeah, I'm flipping that motherfucker. Go on,
$1 billion is a lot.
flipping that. Go on.
That's it.
But if you don't get it,
Cares. I'll make that $1 million next year.
oh my God.
So you're
Yeah, I
going.
guess it
You're
depends
going.
This
on where
stage
you
of life,
stand
I think I
economically.
need the $1 million.
In my life right now, I need the $1 million.
No.
I mean, in
But if I was
but in
out
everybody's
with
life,
a bunch
what,
of my
like,
friends.
are we
they
talking
could probably
tax-free?
Get me to.
We're talking.
flip it.
We're talking. You're netting
Yeah,
$1
for
million.
fun. We could do tax free. Sure.
What do you? Come on. No. Don't ask that question.
No, it's a fucking. It's an issue.
That's like a
It's
fucking.
See, did I
that's
not
like
say
a-
that I was going to be annoyed with something?
That's like a
you
lotto
said?
question. You know.
That's a weird question. Taxes. Who's thinking of taxes when it's $1 million or $1
Well, because $1 million, not $1 million. You're talking fucking
We know what the taxes mean, but that's not what we're
675,000.
talking about.
You're still paying taxes on the billion over.
You're
your
not taking the $1 million. You're taking the coin flip.
I don't. It's a tough one. It all
Is that
depends.
tough?
Like it all depends the state. Like because there's certain states of mind that I could be in, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm flipping that coin.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's what I
Taking
said.
my pants off, I'm flipping that coin.
I'm going
Fucking-
embarrassed.
I'm
shitting
fucking.
myself.
I'm shaving a mohawk or something.
Oh
Flipping
my
it.
God.
I shaved the mohawk right after I got it. What are you calling? You're calling the heads? Like you got to call it? Ugh.
Yeah.
But the punishment that like if you flip that coin and you lose,
You'll get over it.
no, you might never get over it.
You'll get
You'll get over
$1
it?
million.
You might never get over it because it's like you're never gonna be at the plate like that again. Never.
I'm not saying you're not going to get over it because you're not getting that million. You're not getting over it because you lost that billion.
That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
No.
Yes. You flip a coin for $1 billion. All you got to do is
Billion.
call heads and get heads. You are not getting over that.
Yes, you are.
That guy's killing himself.
No way.
Yes. I'm a coin flip away from $1 billion.
Yeah, but
So are you going million, Kurt? You're going guaranteed million?
I'm going with my family. I'm going million, definitely.
I'm hitting it, getting $1 billion, or I'm shitting my pants afterwards.
I don't know though because a guaranteed million right now would make a difference.
Yeah, it would.
Nah.
He's got his feet together. I love it.
Billion.
I don't know how to answer that question.
I
really
thought
don't
you were
know.
going to do I saw one today. It was $1 million now
Yeah, I saw that one.
or what?
$4,000 a week or something like that.
Yeah. Yeah. That was an interesting one.
For 20 years. I did the math right away.
What panned out better?
It was 2.6 if you lived another 20 years or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, I would do that.
What about an old school New York? I say million,
Million?
30 million. You know what I mean by that? You ever
I
hear
don't
that?
hear that often.
Where people fucking roll
30
the,
million.
like Trump will say that.
Let me get 30 million.
$300 million. Then not pronouncing the L's.
Kurt's got to fucking
I
go
gotta
be
go.
basketball dad.
I'm
He's
sorry.
gotta go.
I love you all.
Stop it.
Yeah.
All right,
Oh, you're
Sport
done?
Mode.
No,
Thanks
we're
for
done.
listening, you guys.
Yeah, you ain't leaving yet.
No, I have to leave. Well, stop it. I am stopping it. Stop yelling at me.